So yeah, excited to be here. Excited for this opportunity. Our guys have, worked their tails off over the last few weeks to prepare for this opportunity. We're presented with an incredible challenge with Oklahoma State's offense, and if you've watched the film, it's a tempo team that they make their living with explosive plays, and they've got game wreckers on the perimeter at receiver, and they've got a really, really good running back and an explosive quarterback that can change the game with his legs. So they create, a lot of issues for defenses. And I think our game plan is very, very good. And, we're ready for the challenge. So that'd be my opening statement, and open it up for questions.
Great. Let's start with Pete Sampson.
Hi, Mike. I was interested just sort of how the last month has been for you getting more involved in play calling. There was a collaborative spirit before, but when you're the guy who's actually making the calls, how different that has been, how much you sort of relish that opportunity.
Yeah, it's like you said, we've in terms of game planning all year long, it's been a collective effort. What you write on the game plan is from everybody that's got their input. Obviously, Coach Freeman called the defense during the season, and with input during game time, of what I might want to see for a pass rush, a stunt, a pressure. Same thing for the back end. That won't change as we move through this game. Obviously, I'll be the lead making the call, but input from Coach Mickens and Coach O'Leary and even Coach Freeman. But it's great. I love that opportunity. It's been fun to get. I did it back in 2016 for 8 games, and it's fun to get back into that and be a part of it. So, but again, it's collective. Everybody's going to be having input, and it's certainly not anything I can do on my own. And we have an incredible staff, a very talented defensive staff, as you've probably seen it throughout this year. And it'll be a collective effort.
Let's go to Len Clark. Oh, we still have Len on mute. There we go.
Mike, what's been the biggest improvement on the defense this year, and what do you attribute that to?
Oh, good question. Early on, there was a learning curve, for the scheme that Coach Freeman had brought. I think that we were a little bit more what you'd call on body, playing man coverage. And, I think we got better at that as the season went on. We played better technique across the board from the front to the back end. We settled in, we understood what the calls were and how to execute those calls. So I think it's been a blend of a lot of things. Technique, number one, being more aggressive and getting used to that with being on body and coverage. And then, we improved on third down. We were a little more creative on third down as the season went on. And especially, games 3, 4 and on. And, I think you've seen that. I think our numbers have improved on third down. So from technique to understanding the scheme better, I think we got better as tacklers as the season went on. And obviously getting off the field on third down was a huge improvement.
Darren Pritchett.
Hey, Coach, I'm curious, once Kyle went down with the injury in the USC game, how would you describe from your vantage point the way the secondary has evolved since then and the level of play of that group?
Yeah, it's impressive because they didn't flinch. We put young guys in positions to have to go out there and execute and make plays, and they did that. You've seen Ramon Henderson, you've seen young guys step up and fill a role that going into the season we didn't think they'd have to fill. So they haven't flinched. I think it's great, and young guys have had opportunities and they've taken advantage of it.
Over to Patrick Ingle.
Hey, Mike, we've heard Coach Freeman talk about how he's been, I guess, impressed or with the way you guys had kind of gone about the game prep and in particular for this one. But has that really changed even with him as the head coach, or is it kind of the film study, the prep, all that, just as it was for any other games, and then you taking over as a play caller is just more of a game day thing?
Yeah, it's been the same. Obviously Coach Freeman has taken on many other duties and roles with being the head football coach that he has not been able to be in the defensive staff room as much as he would like. But we don't make any decisions, schematically that would be earth shattering without running them by him. It's obviously, we want this defense and this game plan to reflect what it has all season, which is, his vision. And so I would say it's much of the same, but, minus Coach Freeman at times. Obviously, he's got other duties, but, we haven't changed what we do. We game plan certain things at a certain time, and we're pretty similar to what, consistent to what we've done all season. So, we just run things by him.
Jason Elmquist.
Coach, when looking at Oklahoma State's offense through game film, what stood out to you about running back Jalen Warren, and how different did that offense look when he wasn't able to go against Baylor in the Big 12 title game?
Yeah, I mean, he's a powerful running back and got great vision, makes decisive cuts. He's bulky. He runs behind his pads. He's physical. He's got really good hands. They can get in the ball out of the backfield on screens. And he makes big plays with the ball in his hands. So it looked a lot different. There's quicker, more explosive, and he's a very impressive running back. And you have to bring your feet to tackle him. You have to club and wrap, and you have to get helmets to the football with him running the ball. And they go tempo, they spread you out. So and the quarterback can pull the ball at any time and run it. I mean, there's a lot of complexities to it, and but when he's in the game, it's different. He's a really good running back.
Over to Chris Daly.
Mike, so when Marcus Freeman was introduced as head coach, the team went crazy in the locker room and the clip went viral. Can you describe what that moment was like for you as a coach, just watching on? Yeah,
I was actually I was somewhere recruiting. I wasn't even in the locker room, but seeing the video, it doesn't shock me. He is the same guy every day, and the players appreciate that. And it was very, very heartwarming. And he's a great guy, and the players love him, and it showed up on that video.
Timothy O'Malley.
Hey, Coach, I have two player questions for you. What is it that you and Coach Freeman like about Jordan Patel at the second level? You're able to use him there against Wisconsin, some game plan specific things, and it seems he might be there this week. And then also the versatility that Justin Adamiola showed this year. How have you seen him grow from, at some point he was a strong side end, and now he really seems to be playing all over the field in different packages?
Yeah, well, to start with Jordan, we're trying to find ways to get Jordan on the field. He's an explosive athlete. He does really good on special teams. And, I think that he would have filled a role that Justin is playing right now. And Justin, as you've asked the second part of the question, Justin's really come on and been very reliable, and he can fill a lot of roles. So they're very similar players. And with Justin really taking more of a lead role at the defensive line and moving him around on third down, it has allowed us to move Jordan to linebacker and play at that second level, which he played in high school. He's instinctive, he's physical, he's good in coverage, and when you activate him on pass rush, he's dynamic. So, we're trying to find ways to get Jordan on the field, and when you got an upperclassman like Justin that's very reliable, that can do the same jobs, and we can move him around. He can learn 2 or 3 different positions. So there's a lot of versatility there, and we got a lot of guys on the sideline that we still can't get on the field. And, so Jordan's feeling a little bit of that, and moving forward, we're gonna have to try to find a way to get him on the field and put him in a position like we have Justin to make some plays for us.
For our last question for Coach, we'll go to Tyler James.
Hey, Mike, I'm curious. A number of the players have talked about the different presser packages, whether it be stunts or blitzes that have allowed you guys to have success rushing the passer. I'm curious, what has been the key to making sure that those have worked as effectively as they have?
Well, it's knowing your personnel, number one, knowing how you can utilize them. And then secondly, it's really kind of dictating, by how you're aligning what the offense can do or cannot do. So you have an idea of what the protections might be, you narrow it down, and then by lining up in certain fronts and different alignments, you can pretty much dictate what you're going to get. And then from there, game plan it. So our guys have a really good understanding of when we jump into a certain front, what protection they're going to get and how we're going to attack it. And that's from the D line and the linebackers. So we got smart kids and they do a great job with the stunts and pressures. And, and when you got really good pass rushers, you don't have to be overly creative, just get them in certain positions and utilize their talents the right way.
Thank you for your time today, Coach. We appreciate it, and good luck on Saturday.
You got it. Thank you. Appreciate everybody.